Hey, TV girl, calm. 1 second. I had a internet blip. Some techno gremlins attacked my live stream. Anyway, let me start over. Welcome and welcome back to the channel. This is Art to the Round Table. My name is Mello. So, I just need to. I'm gonna see if this is actually going to work. Besides that, how are you today? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully, we're moving and grooving. Let me get things going for a hot second. Give me one second. We don't need that anymore. We don't need the countdown. All right. Man, that was a stinky, man. All right. This here. All right. That was interesting, and even my slideshow doesn't move. That's funny. Okay, it is what it is. I'll have to restart eventually, but not now. Now we gotta get to work. How you doing, everybody? Again, this is Art to the Round Table. Thank you for being so patient with me. Some tech gremlins this morning. So, happy Hump Day. If you celebrate the Hump Day, hit me with a heart or a hundo emoji. I think it's hilarious. All right, let's get to this. Let me show you guys what I was working on Monday, and what I'll be working on today, what I'll be working on in the future, and hopefully you guys will continue to join me on one of those. But there's one special one. Where is it? It's in this sketchbook. I tell you one thing, man. If it's one thing that I am consistent on, is that I'm never ready when I'm ready. All right, so here we go. On Monday, we was starting and painting this. This thing, I already have a love-hate relationship with it. So, but I like the study of it. I might do some work in the face, maybe not. That's what I did last week. This is what I'll be doing maybe later on today or tomorrow. This is a piece that I am working on for a pinup for, if I say too much of this, I'll ruin the surprise. And lucky for me, the guy, I don't think he gets a chance to check out my streams, but anyway, if he did peep this, I think he'll get a kick out of it. I'll reveal more about this later on when it's done. So let me move that to the side. It belongs in a museum. Yeah, TV girl, draw with me, draw. This is one that I'm working on. I did this after our stream on Monday. I still had some energy. I wasn't feeling, like I said, very happy. That's not true. Happy, yes, with the results of that painted piece of the female. I just felt I needed a bit more, and I left out of there kind of like, meh. So, This isn't what we'll be painting today in today's workshop, which is titled, do I remember my title? The Secret. The Secret. What is the secret of gouache? If you guys are painters or beginning painting and you have, like, what's the point? What's the secret? What's this, that, and the other? I think I may have it. I think I may have it. And it's several things. It's never just one thing. I'm just moving stuff around. I don't want my channel to crash again today. That was annoying. I am closing windows. I got that up. We should do it. You might be a fan of Batman with Selena. I am a fan. I'm a huge fan of these two. And then I said the worst thing today. I said, she's probably like, the Joker's getting away. And he's like, yeah, Robin will take care of it. And then cut to Death in the Family where the Joker is putting the pipe to Robin. But we're not going to think about that. Let me go through the chat real quick. Let me say hi to everybody. TV Girl Com, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Grab your pens, grab a pencil. Let's draw together. I'm going to be painting, but you can draw while I paint. You can do whatever you want. It's a free country, girl. Where is my doodad? DW, Drawing While Talking is on. Thank you for joining me, bud. Yeah, I don't know what happened earlier today. The tech gremlins attacked. As soon as I hit start, I don't even know if my greeting happened. But as soon as I did, everything crashed. And Cool Tunes 05, good morning. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you as always. And he says, well, you say, because I don't know who is behind Cool Tunes 05, so you say, I gotta ask what your bookshelf looks like. If you've done Berserk Art 2, what are your top reads? Can I switch my camera? My bookshelf right now has a little bit of everything. It has a bunch of artists I admire on the top shelf. Jim Lee, Alphonse Mucha, some Gustav Klimt, some Alex Ross, some John Cassidy books, some Sean Phillips, some J.C. Leyendecker, some Katsuhiro Otomo or Otomo Katsuhiro. Second shelf has my Ninja Turtles, my pulp books, my action Bible, and a bunch of Marvel Essentials. Third shelf underneath, some artist editions, Spider-Man artist edition, Savage Dragon, Frank Miller's Daredevil, Jim Lee's X-Men artist edition, Kevin Nolan's, which I want to be looking into soon, and the best of DC War, which has to be my out of those, the Jim Lee one and the DC War book. If you guys are into that black and white, the original artwork of some of these artists that I admire, whoa, let me know and I'll show you. I'll go through some of those, some Frazetta. So, and on. I got a bunch of stuff. But my top reads, man, I don't know if I have any like pure top reads, because I go through so many and so many different eras. Maybe some Usagi Yojimbo. I wish I had the Akira books, but they're too much. All right, so that's that. I'll have to go back to you on that cartoon, Cool Tunes, and see what happens. TV Girl says, what was your favorite artwork? Mine or somebody else's that I admire? And you draw Little Pony characters. And My Little Pony's legit. Let me show you guys these. I did this quick gypsy drawing, but I want to see if I can paint it. But this really, I want to paint this too. This thing is ready. It's already been gessoed and ready to go. But I think tomorrow, I'm not going to stream on Friday. Usually my schedule is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I don't think I'm going to be streaming on Friday. Because it's my birthday. And I don't want to suffer my fams having me be in my office all day. So I think I'm going to do 2 streams tomorrow as best as I can. Hang out with you guys tomorrow. And this will be one of them that we'll do. So today, if you want, before the day is over, if I get to even paint anything, I'm going to put an underpainting on this. We'll pin it. We'll take care of that. Because I think it's time. I think it's time to put some color on this and see what's going to happen. I need to see. And it's been calling me to do it. And if I can be successful on this smaller piece, on this practice, I'm going to work on putting it on a bigger piece of paper, a bigger canvas, or a bigger artboard. Because it's been earwigging me. So anyway, here we go. That's that. So I've been in a weird spot because it's like I haven't done anything, but then I go through some of my unfinished stuff and it's like, my goodness, bro. You just haven't finished everything. All right. What I really need to do is organize my stuff. You guys want to do a quick unboxing with me? My Winsor Newtons are running low, kinda, because I only use the same colors, but I've been itching to see what's in here. So, yeah, the tech and the art gremlins have been killing me, man. And thank you for the early birthday wishes. Let's see. 24 high premium opaque watercolor premium gouache paints with vibrant, quick drying colors and a velvety matte finish. Maybe we'll use these today. You guys want to use these today? So here's the thing. As I crack open a new box of paints. Yeah, you know what? Let's use these today. This is who we're going to be painting today. He needs it. He's been sitting around almost a week now. 2 weeks? A week now. He needs to get painted. Also, I'm all over the place. I'm really excited about there's a ton of stuff happening behind the scenes at Casa de Mel and with Arts of the Round Table. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but some certificate of authenticity cards. Guys, on my piece here, you can buy real art, original art. You can hit me up for collaborations. You can hit me up for commissions. And maybe you will get one of these. That's such a sad sell. All right. It looks like it's been chewed up by a dog. Way to go, Castle Arts. Need any help? Nah, I don't think so. Color chart and a product guide. These are kind of cool. I have some of their watercolors that I rarely use. Bam. The cockatrice. You know that the cockatrice is a mythical evil, cursed creature? I don't know if it was introduced in it, but it's in the Bible. Isn't that crazy? I think it lays eggs, poisonous snakes instead of other. It's a crazy two-legged dragon or serpent with the head of a rooster. According to myth, it hatches from a rooster's egg and is incubated by a toad or a snake. Infamous for his lethal gaze, said to kill or petrify anyone who meets his eye, and his poisonous breath adds to his deadly reputation. Frequently appearing in art and literature and the Bible. So, way to go, Castle. I don't know how I feel about that now. Watercolor and gouache paints. Tips and tricks. Man, they give you everything. This set was less than $25. If you guys are interested, you let me know. And I'll help you out. I'll send you the link. I don't know what happened here. I am not going to be painting the cockatrix. But they give you that's pretty cool. Why not? I like the paper. I wonder what type of paper this is. Feels very mixed media, almost arches. And the paint tester sheet, which I rarely do. I don't do much swatching. I know it's a thing. But I'm going to tell you right now, yellow ochre, vermilion, black and white. If you know, you know. All right. What really did happen here? Medium yellow. Terracotta light. Okay. Maybe they dropped this off when it was super hot outside and the plastic just melted. So instead of flesh tone, they're calling it Cora now. All right. What are the colors I'm going to use for my homie? Oh my gosh. Over. I'm gonna go Zorn palette. So vermilion, yellow ochre. Ooh, they got lamp black and Chinese white. Okay. Let's try those out. It's gonna be very earthy. I don't know if I'm going to. I'm not gonna be so dramatic in the background. I might just keep it a beigey color. So we'll see what happens. And of course, burnt sienna, because that's my jam. All right, you guys ready? All right, put that to the side. I want to let people know I'm using Castle, so why don't I'll leave that right there. Put that there, put that here, throw that away. I'm a bit OCD, so I'm constantly putting stuff on edges. Let's take care of this thing, shall we? Alright, so here's something that I wanted to share with you guys, and this happens to be, I think, true, not with just gouache, and I think it works with watercolor, acrylic, any type of medium where you're going to be painting, right? So if you was to remove all of everything about painting, the secret of it, the secret, right? Everybody wants to know the secret sauce and all that stuff. The secret, I believe, when it comes to painting, not gouache. Gouache, I have something for that before painting, is not learning how to control the paint. What? Yeah. Because learning how to control the paint comes with experience. But the secret isn't learning to control the paint. It's actually learning to understand what the paint wants to do. What the hell does that mean, Mel? Learning what the paint wants to do. And that comes with consistency. Not in repetition, consistency of the paint. Right? Knowing and learning what the paint wants to do. Too much water, you're going to use it as a wash. Right? A little less water, you're going to use it as a covering with opacity. And then time. So those are the three. Water, opacity, and time are, for me, the secrets to gouache. But the secrets to painting is not necessarily learning how to control the paint, but learning to understand what the paint wants to do. Does that make sense? I was thinking about that. And I think that is kind of like the hurdle. See this here? I'm just soaking up my sheet. See this here? This are the mini pieces to build a mini version of this. This is, ay caramba, sorry. This is the dummy 13, I think, or dummy 21. A 3D printed model that I'm going to be using for reference. And I went to a flea market last weekend and found this beautiful creature. This is the dummy 13. He is about from tip to crown, from toe tips to crown, he is about 15 inches. Good Lord, that's so 15 inches. Hold on, let me show you guys on the vertical what the hell I'm talking about. It's too big for the vertical screen. Then is this little homie? This is about I'm dying to make a mess here. I got water in that. He is about 8 inches. And just to give you an example, so I bought this piece, and as I was talking to the guy at the flea market that was selling these, that I was going to use them as reference for a David and Goliath piece. So then he handed me this thing. He said, make this David. Just out of reference. This is the same chess piece. That's the chess piece. So I don't know how small this is going to be, but I'm going to assume if that's the chess piece, I don't know. I have no idea. If that's 8 inches, maybe 4 inches in height, 3-4 inches, which would be kind of cool. I could build that on screen. I have the instructions for it. I laughed at him. I was like, you serious? He goes, yeah, you can find the instructions on how to build it online. If you guys want to hang and chill one day while I do that, we'll do that. But yeah, these are my homies right here. Super articulated, heavy. They can hold their pose really well. The big guy here doesn't have much in terms of peripherals or accessories. but that's okay. I just really need them for the pose and to do work on perspective drawings. That's the lie I say. I tell. We'll see how that works out. All right, move these over. All right, my paints. My wet palette has water in it. I'm soaking the bottom sheet. Now I'm going to remove the excess water. Once I do that, I simply just flip this thing. If I do it the way they show you in the instructions, where you lay the sheet on the top, this sheet curls and rolls up like a cigar once you add moisture to it. This way, you don't have to fight it. All right, I'm gonna have it this way. I'm a righty, as you can tell, so I'm gonna finally put the paint on my right side. I forgot to grab black. So, ooh, that's creamy. Usually, you start using these tubed paints, and you'll see the binder. It'll be like really like a gross liquid. Oh, look at that. It's pooping. It's pooping already. It's going to be a lot. It's amazing how you can do such varying skin tones with just these 4 colors. This is the Zorn palette. Yellow ochre, vermilion, black and white. And I used to sneak in oh, that looks so good. Look how vibrant that is compared to the Winsor Newton. And I don't want to be trashing Winsor Newton. Hey, that's all of them. What am I missing? Oh, burnt sienna. And I'm going to add a blue in here for my shadows. Which I don't think I'm going to be using that much, but maybe I'll use it for, oh, what they got? They got teal green, cobalt, I can't even speak today. Prussian blue, ultramarine, and cobalt. Let's go ultramarine. Guys, so I got another announcement, besides it being my birthday on Friday. I just signed up for a partnership program with Dubby energy drink. Dubby does they really brand out more for streamers and gamers, that type of stuff, those type of people. But they were running a I don't know, like what's the word I'm looking for, a program where you can sign up to be a partner. So I wanted to cut back a little bit of my coffee intake. Not all of it, because I love me some coffee. But just some. And I've been feeling it lately because I'm actually crashing right now, and I do not want to have another cup. So I'm going to have a partnership with them. I'm going to try out their energy drinks. I'm going to be sharing that with you. And if you guys are energy drinkers, I want to try something a little bit different, a little bit more natural, with not too much preservatives or added chemicals and unnatural sweeteners, and no crash, allegedly, as they say. But we'll be testing that out when they arrive. We don't need this pencil. So I'll be testing those things out. I'll be hawking them to you guys, and if you want to try them out, you can go ahead and use already my promo code MELLOWAOTRT. If you go to w.gg, that's their store. Check out the product they have if you want to try it. I'm actually going to try their caffeinated energy drinks and their non-caffeinated hydration drink. So, yeah, man, so that's kind of cool. I'm waiting for some more information from them, but that's pretty much set and good to go. All right. Well, you guys ready? Have I done enough talking? I want this to be a bit lighter. Let's talk about what we're painting here. This is my man Mjorn. Mjorn is a character in my own story. One of the main characters. A lot of it drives, a lot of the story is driven around what may or may not have happened to him. He gets introduced early and gets killed early. But his kids here, it happened when they were young. Enix, Ifo. And they had a lot of questions growing up. This is 10 years after the death of their father. Have a ton of questions of what have happened. And now they're old enough to ask those questions, and strong enough and respected enough that people can't say no to those questions. But sometimes, as we know, sometimes the answer is worse. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, so I'm trying to, it may not be as action or dramatic as these. Thank you, D-Dubs. But we see, we'll plan. I'm going to keep those in front of me because I like the palette, so I'm going to stay that way. I wanted to do how they do for when they do kids for parents in animation. So I wanted the daughter, I don't know if I wanted her to have his hair and look like her mom, and the boy look like his mom and have, it was something like that. It might be too complicated. Who cares? Let's paint. All right. One of the things that I enjoy about using burnt sienna, fluid acrylic as my underpainting, especially with portraits, it already gives you a very warm backwash, a warm feeling, a warm palette. To work on. Some people use blue, some people use this color. I've been enjoying it. These are the same washes in different degrees, some lighter and heavier than others. 3 types of paper here. These are acrylic paper, heavy acrylic paper, both of these. This is Bristol smooth, so meh. It didn't take the paint as well as these. That's that one. This is artboard. That has been primed whenever they did it. All right. If I can just unlock my phone. Okie dokie. Here we go. So, what I say, secret of painting is not learning how to control the paint, but learning to understand what the paint wants to do. Right? And the secret of gouache, in my opinion, from the last 3 years or 2-3 years that I've been painting with gouache, water, opacity, and timing. Water, opacity, and timing, and all of those are the catalyst of learning or understanding what the paint wants to do. If I add too much water, then I know it's going to be washed. Then I have to figure out and live with the way that paint is going to move. Less water. It's going to be a more of a thicker consistency and layers. And then time waiting for those layers to dry off. My eye is twitching. Your boy ages 1 year, 1 more year, man, and everything just starts falling apart. All right. You guys want to begin? Let's do it. I'm like crashing right now. Wet my brush. I'm trying to create a dull grayish color. Not too dull, but dull enough for the whites of his eyes. And I did enough shading. I'm basically going to just try to follow my own lines. Here we go. So, happy Wednesday, you guys. Hope you're doing well. I have a desire sometimes to paint like I was drawing. Does that make sense? Like there's a part of me that is unsure sometimes that wants to paint this like I was inking it. Because I still want to practice inking. I just add a little bit of white. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to clean my brush and then I'm going to just blend them in. But already you see how now water. So throughout the video, throughout the live stream, I'll bring up one of those pieces. So water, opacity, and timing. With gouache, all those three things go hand in hand, right? Water, opacity, and timing. I don't mind the way that looks. There's not a lot of blending going on there, and it's perfect. It's almost like a hard shadow. I'm gonna keep it that way. But if I wanted to, I'm going to use very little water. And now to understand what the paint's gonna do, that's gonna help me blend it in. And I'm gonna say those things a lot, just because as you paint, as you get good at what you're doing, all of that becomes almost second nature to you. So something just happened. Even though my brush was clean with very little water, it pulled up the paint. Damp brushes will do that. Damp brush with gouache will treat it like it's an eraser. Understanding what the paint wants to do, and you having to accept it. And if you are trying to do something that is not, that it is counterintuitive to what that paint wants to do, it will say no thank you and fight you and make it muddy and make it make you regret your life choices up to that point. And those three things, water, opacity, and time, don't always have to go in that order. Just take your time, always. Enjoy the process. Build. Right now it looks a little bright. It's gonna blend in very smoothly and mellowly. All right. I don't want to sit here and use the small brush, even though I kind of want to. I didn't want to do that. I bought these brushes and I didn't want to. These are the new brushes I bought. I don't want to. A part of me does and doesn't want to sit here and just kind of like round brush paint the whole thing. But what do you guys think? Shall we try it? I usually use my square brushes, but today's Wednesday, is hump day. Let's do whatever we want on this workshop. Wednesday. I believe in allowing your methods, your techniques to evolve. Again, I'm no expert. I'm just gonna get them ready. Soften them up. These are white Taklon brushes, and they seem to be doing a fantastic job. I needed brushes that would hold their point for things like that. All right, here we go. Let's mix some tones. So what I want to do is I'm going to mix a variety of shades and tones for the skin here. And what I like to do is kind of like move it across my own palette. Let's get a square brush here. Nice little base. One mistake that I do often when I'm mixing my paints, I go back and forth. And sometimes that's useful and sometimes it isn't. It wouldn't be useful if you saw when I was mixing my blues to my burnt siennas and then on, to then grab a dirty brush and mix from my vermilion up. I don't want to do that. Grab some white. And I'm even going to let it blend in with that gray that I used for his eyes. Use some black here. It doesn't seem very pigmented, but believe me, because of the water content, what we're going to do, again, water, opacity, and timing. Very early, I want to use this type of a watery texture so we can start seeing and start building in our ranges, and then later on we'll add more of the pigments to that mix and layer on top. Make sense, y'all? You let me know. All right. That's not not the highest highlight, but light enough. All right. And a quick tip when it comes to portraits, it can be done for both male and female. There's color ranges to the face, to the sections of the face. And the face is set up in threes. Honestly, art, a lot of things is set up in threes. And there's a color range for all three. Yellow for the forehead is the color range. You want to add a bit more of your yellow tones or lighter tones for the forehead. Reddish for the middle tones, for the blush of the cheeks, the nose, cheek, and then a little bit of blue for cooler shadows. And for guys, you can mess around with it a bit more because it'll give the illusion of 5 o'clock shadow, like I did with his sun here. Adding just a little bit of a greenish blue wash right here around the chin and here gives him that sense of like he might have shaved earlier that day. All right. The light is coming from the right hand side as depicted by my shadows, but it's not going to be so dominant. It's just going to be nicely lit right here. We're not going to do any rim lighting. I'm going to try to keep it natural. All right. Seguimos. And if you guys have any questions or anything, if you want to ask anything, please do not hesitate. Let me know you're there. All right. We're going to stay. Yeah, does he shave with a rusty sword? He tried to shave with his eyebrows with a rusty sword. All right. Can you guys see I want to show you guys a bit of the palette as much as possible while not having such a giant mess here. One really cool thing about gouache, you could go dark to light, light to dark. Again, it's gonna depend on water and opacity. So for now, let's just keep it medium. So it's gonna be these two colors. Most people preferably go dark first. So let's just see what that looks like. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of the darkest shade and the vermilion. I don't want it too dark. I just want to see what it looks like. Keep in mind, that might be a bit too dark, but this is early. We'll see what happens. I'm going to. The thing is, I don't want to lose this. All right, so I'm going to start here. I'm just blocking in. And I'm actually going to want these to be darker. But this is cool because now I can add some variety and some oompage. We all like oompage to the shadows. You don't want the shadows to be completely black, ever. Unless it's necessary, unless it's Batman. And my brush seems really wet. But what's cool about what's happening is that it's kind of like it's creating a wash in itself. I'm gonna tell you right now, the biggest thing I notice about this castle and those Western Newton is the amount of pigmentation just from that little bit of paint that I grabbed. Pigmentation, is that a word? Can we create that? Can we dub that? Can we copyright? And what I like to do now that it's dissipating and it's just more wet than anything, I can be a bit more rougher and just blend it in with the shadows. It looks a lot darker in front of me than it does on the screen that I'm looking at, so it might look lighter to you guys. TV Girl says, I'm trying to draw my African Gary parrot, but it's difficult. Birds are difficult, period. I'm a terrible friend. I have a buddy by the name of Albert James, one of my besties in the world. We've worked together for almost 15 years, and he's super supportive of my artwork. Even when we was working in IT together, that's what we did. And when I was doing digital, I said to him, I'm going to draw you. He's from the island of Dominica. I'm going to draw for you and paint for you the Cicero parrot, which is the parrot of the natural bird of the island. And then I saw how beautiful and colorful that bird was. I think I drew it. I can't even find it. But it was just like, oh brother, what did I just do to myself? Albert James sounds like he should have a grape juice named after him. That is hilarious. I'm going to call him later on today. I'm going to let him know that he needs to expand. Yeah, Welchers need some competition. I'm going to let him know. All right. I'm going to move up my flesh scale. Flesh scale. That sounds gross. I'm going to add a bit. Let's see. They all seem kind of dark, but they do dry lighter, so I'm just going to add a little bit more white. I just want to see what's going on here. All right. And I'm trying to stay within where I painted. What's really cool about using the undertone and the washes and these art boards, you don't have to paint everything. There's some people that have to fill the whole canvas. You don't gotta do nothing. I mean, as long as it portrays what you want. The brown wash that I put in earlier is still kind of wet. Remember? Water. And it allows me to use what I have in here to blend it. And I'm shutting my brain down. All I'm doing is, yeah, you can leave it blank, but you don't have to paint it all. All right. I'm gonna add a little bit of that vermilion. I'm gonna put, so what I did was I added some and then I cleaned off the majority of what's in my brush, and I'm gonna lightly blend the two on the canvas, and that gives you a really cool gradient and blend of your colors. And now I can start blending a bit more with that tone, that highlighted tone, or that lighter flesh tone, and it'll blend in. And that's how you can start playing. And if I had, the brush that's best for this, what I'm doing right now, that technique, I think that might be too late, find out, is the filbert. I don't want him to be smooth. This guy's a warrior. He got wrinkles. He got scars. And what I'm trying not to do is a paint by numbers type of deal. I'm feeling my way through the colors to see what works. And some of this is going to dry darker. Some of it will dry lighter. So I'm just letting it happen. It's still very early. So none of this is offending me. And this is where, again, Gouache and I like working with each other because I'm already introducing a bit more light than you normally would. As if you're using acrylic or if you're using oils. So maybe that's why. The secret of gouache is that it's the rebel's medium. All the acrylic and the oil painters are going to catch me outside. How about that? Once you have, if you're doing portraits from imagination like this is, and all I would recommend to you, for realsies, besides the painting part, is make sure at least that the drawing is tight. That you give yourself as much space to succeed. So use references if you need to when you're drawing the portrait, when you're drawing part. If you're going to paint by imagination or paint. Because if you can do that, if you draw it tight, then really, I just said it earlier, I don't want to paint by numbers, but that's what it's going to end up feeling like. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Does any of that make sense? I feel like I'm not making sense. I really am, though. I'm digging these castles, though. I think those I was gonna say Western Union, those Winsor Newton paints aren't high quality. Again, we was talking about the quality of paints and expenses. You gotta go with what's within your budget. I really don't want to spend any more than maybe $20 for a set of paints. This has 24, more than I'll ever need. As you'll see, your palettes are usually going to look slim. So if that doesn't matter, if $20 is my limit, then maybe I could find some high quality artist premium paints that are $20. That doesn't have a huge palette of colors or a huge variety, because you're gonna mix your colors. Mixing colors is kind of nuts. It's fun. It makes you feel like an artist in the end. It's fun and harrowing. And there's no easy way. I have a ton of I follow a ton of Instagram artists, and all they do is show you how to mix paint, mix tones and colors. And it doesn't matter what medium, that color's going to mix that way. I don't want them to look too ugly, so I'm going to smooth out some of these wrinkles up here. Not ugly, I don't mean ugly. Because does it make sense? Oh, thanks. Yeah, I hope so. I kind of dig it. I can't remember if did I scan this in? Oh, poop. Poop. I don't know if I did. I must have. I don't want to lose the eyebrow. The blue came out too gray. That's interesting. So that means that ultramarine is strong. But I'm going to use that actually as my highlight color. Because I'm going to go in with some black. Oh, you got a little, what's it called? Little, just for men? Man, my boy Pedro. Same place I worked with. Another one of my besties, my work besties. I have to call him too, man. I haven't spoken to him in a while. He's an older gent, and he had salt and pepper hair, right? And one day, he came into work after messing around with some Just for Men hair dye. Bruh. We ridiculed that poor dude. It wasn't that it looked bad. It was just such a stark change. He still looked good. But it was like... we started clowning him for him being selfish that he didn't share where the fountain of youth was. I miss you, Pedro. Love you, brother. Oh, he looks like Geralt of Rivia. And he isn't. Alright. So what I'm doing now, I'm just adding almost pure black, a light of it, and it's still mixing with the semi-wet gray tone that I added. I'm gonna make it a bit more brown. I'm not sure if I wanted him to have daughter's hair color or his son's, but I want to add some of this burnt sienna, this dark burnt sienna, so it won't stand out so much. But then again, I'm not finished here. You finish drawing the African gray parrot, but you find it very difficult to do the fur. TV girl, would you mind sharing that? So I can see what it looks like. Maybe I can, if I know what it looks like, or the image that you're doing, maybe I can give you a tip on how to do the fur. The feathers, man. Birds ain't got no fur. Have you guys seen the Brahma bird? Whatever. I gotta ask my boy what it is. My son. It's very cartoonish, this thing, isn't it? I'm planning to do... Yes, how? Yeah, if you like, you can share it on my community page if you want to. And I'll take a look at it and see if there's a way I can figure out what you're doing. I haven't drawn a bird, so it'll be the blind leading the blind. But if we can break it down into something that is, you almost have to get. You can post it on your YouTube as well. Yeah, you could do that. I might have to. I might not subscribe to you. I have to change that. Change the fact that it's a bird. I mean, feathers. If you could break it down into a shape that your mind doesn't go, oh, that's too difficult. Feathers are too difficult. You got to trick your mind. You have to unlearn what you have learned. $0.10 for anybody that knows that reference. Now, all I'm doing right now, as I'm doing some of these highlights, is just adding a bit of black to burnt sienna, very little bit of water, and that's it. And I'm letting it dissipate into the gray and blending in with the gray on the palette. God help me, I can't speak today. On the artboard. And that provides, and I'm using very loose motion here. I'm trying not to do too, I'm being very light is what I mean. You guys were here earlier. I had Indiana Jones drawing that I'm doing, and the project has to be in black and white, so I'm gonna ink it. So now the challenge I'm being faced with is how do I portray tone and shape, which is black, on a referenced image. I'm trying to break it down into shapes, the shadows, without losing the image. So, we'll see how that goes. Just dry brushing it here. Thanks, TV girl. I'll check it out for show. For shizzy, for show. All right. Man, I messed myself up. It actually does look more like Geralt, especially with the scar. So I definitely have to make sure I don't leave his hair white. Oh, you stole him. It's hard these days, man, to come up with an original character and look. It's all been done. You tried your best. Don't even worry about it. It'll be good. Plus, you're drawing a difficult subject. I'm trying to figure out here. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I never figured out really the type of hair I wanted his daughter. I guess with a dark beard, might as well go dark with the hair. Anyway. Worrying about things that really don't matter right now. Let's just keep going. Adding a bit more vermilion. I don't want him to look too flush. I don't want him to look like he's blushing. But I also don't want him to look too mischievous. I mean, it's just a portrait guy. It definitely gives him a more realistic look. Alright, it's always tricky when it comes to dudes' mouths because you don't want it to look like he's got lipstick on or his lips are too rosy. Let me see, is that good? That should be good. And I kind of fall into that trap of, because I don't, I'm kind of, what's the word here? Being kind of experimental with the colors. Not really having a, this is for the cheek, this is for the face, this is for that. The reason I like doing it that way, because it gives the image a bit more life and spontaneity, if that makes sense. I'm going to use the color underneath. Yeah, this thing, I like this paint. All right, Castle, I see you. You might be, need some specular highlights. If you want a toned down version of your color, just wipe it off a bit. Let me see something. Can I see it from here? Let me see. Doctor Who's. You're crazy. That looks amazing. I see what you mean about the feathers. You know why? Because you was thinking about feathers. That's inspiring, though. TV girl, that's inspiring. I love it. Uh, you gonna make me go and paint my friend's finally paint my friend's parrot, or the Cicero parrot. So I tell you what, we'll do a painting of a bird, a drawing and a painting of a bird, and we'll see about how we can change the way we see the feathers. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense. Because your mind, my mind, whenever I'm trying to draw anything, is always trying to be precise and specific. Oh, that's not what an eye looks like. That's not what that looks like. And you begin to kind of like suffer. If you're using reference, if you're looking at a picture, try not to draw the subject. Try just to figure out what it is you're looking at and break it into shapes. I'm using an old phone to do, like, to record time-lapse videos and take pictures, so that I won't have to use my personal phone at the moment. But it's an older iPhone, and the way they brick, yeah, Apple, you brick your phones. The way you brick your phones is terrible, man. All right. Thanks. I mean, a lot coming from those. Oh, man. No, it looks great. Yeah, look at that. So, all you got to do is try to figure out a way to break down what those like. Don't think of feathers. Think of I don't know, what else could it be? Small little U shapes, or you have to get your mind into away from what it technically is, and if you can convert that to a shape that your mind recognizes, you'll crack it. I guarantee you'll crack it. I guarantee it. Or your money back. All right. What are we doing here? What are we doing? He's got a nice head of lettuce, don't he? Was that it? I was trying out a new playlist here, and it looks like it's an hour long, and that's perfect. I still don't know what color hair here, but I know it's pretty long. Try not to worry too much about strands, guys. Don't do that when it comes to hair. You lose your mind. Think of shapes. But if you want to see what it would look like, how I did... Where are you? Where are you? That kind of strand appearance. I'll show you right now. Which is just... It looks good with brown hair. Is that what we want? Let's see if I can dull down some of this brown. Dull down brown. Alright, so I've already left some highlight areas, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm just going to go ahead and put my color in there. That's not dull enough. That's too much. But it'll work just the same. Ooh. Boy, got the gurgle guts. Looks terrible, right? Oh no, what do you do? That's all right. I'm trying not to lose where my lights are. That means I'm going to have to add some of this later on in his beard. That means I'm going to have to remember this color so I could do it for his daughter. All right. Clean this brush. Now, see, man, I gotta turn on the phone again. So I'm using a dark gray, right? So this is probably going to be what takes time. It'll take the longest because of the way the paint's going to react. Because it's going to blend in. All right, this is dry. All right, so here we go. So I'm just going to pick a spot. I see my strands here, so that's where the beginning is going to go. And then I'm going to feather up. That could be darker. And what you want to do multiple passes lightly so that it can begin to blend with the color you dropped earlier, with that color here. Would I need more? A little bit more water on this so it can move, so it won't be so difficult to move. But you don't want it so wet that it pulls up the paint underneath. All right. And if it's too dark like that, that's good. So that'll be my darkest. And then from there, I'm just feathering up. And I'm curving the brush from, let's say, if this was a compass, from center to left. That's not a compass, but you know what I'm talking about. And then right way, left and right. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to be moving the canvas more than my hand. I want my hand to stay in that motion. And as the paint begins to blend and dissipate from my brush, I'll go further and further away from my original spot. That's my anchor. So that's where I start. And very little pressure. What is it that Bob Ross used to say? Little hair, some air. And then I'm just using sweeping motions and doing the inker special, just adding a little bit of pressure in the center of the stroke. Feel me? So light pressure to get the point, heavy pressure, adding a little divot in the center. All right, shall we keep going? I want his dark hair here. This is going to be the light. That's where I had it. So light, heavy, light, and that gives volume. That's how they do it in the comic industry there. And that could be my anchor. That's going to be my release. Anchor and my release. And just feathering out. It's your boy, I skipped breakfast, so if you hear a bear growling, that's just my guts. I really should go eat something. And what's cool, as you release, the bristles will spread out a little bit and give you that really cool feathering effect right here. You see that? Let me see if I can do one while I'm holding up the brush here, without messing anything up. Right, not too bad. Pull it away. Boom. Excuse me, little morning nose whistle. All right, it's gonna be darker here. This always gives me trouble. These widow's peaks. Because I don't know which way. I don't know which way my arm favors. I don't know if it's good to go this way. There's very faint areas in the hair that still sees my original pencil marks, so I'm trying to see those and copying them. Your boy looking good. Because the hair has burnt sienna as a base, I'm using burnt sienna mixed with my black so that it still has a bit of color. And that allows me to build up where the highlights may be. His hair. And if you need to, man, you can do whatever you want. But if you need to, redraw it. I want his hair part here and then to go right, and then it comes this way. And I can see very little of this pencil. I don't need to see a lot of it. Just enough to show me, oh, okay, that's where that line is. Cool. Cool. This is always difficult too. So let me go light. Just keep following that rhythm. Once you find that sweet spot of anchor and release of that pressure, move very little. Move the canvas more than your hand. I'm going to use this dry brush to redraw where my lines are, even if I go over them. And give him that messy hair, man. Give him some flyaway. It's all right. It adds movement where there isn't any. Did he just whip his... Did he just Maybelline that? I'm going to go darker on some areas, but you get the idea. You just keep doing that exercise of anchor and release. It'll look nice on you. It just takes... I like everything, man. It just takes time. And it doesn't have to be hair. You can do this as practice. Hey, Tamara, how are you? Welcome to the Tower of Terror. And good morning. It's more morning for you, isn't it? What is it where you are? 10? It's 12:30. It's 12:15 or so. 12:13 where I'm at. Tamara, that piece you was working on yesterday was so beautiful looking. I love the story. I love the way it was coming out. And can we give... Oh, Ike. What Ike was able to do with just ink washes was nuts. Oh, it's 10 a.m.? Okay, that's not too shabby. These type of portraits, because they're not real, they're so easy to get to lose your way. So I'm trying to go real soft here. You dropping food, bro, and I'm over here starving. I skipped breakfast, man. For you, bro. For you. No, I'm kidding. Tim says, oh, thanks, dude. And yes, on Ike. Yeah, man. I like Ike because he'd be like, oh, man, I don't want to... Can we imagine if Ike sounds like Ringo? Oh, my artwork. And I'm just trying to get bad on drawing. That was terrible. Sorry, Ike. I love you, brother. I'll never do it again. He's so good, though. The artists are so terrible when it comes to self-love. You got it, D-dubs. I'm hungry. Uh, Thanks, and yes, Ike and skills, absolutely. Um, this piece is looking beautiful. Thank you, I appreciate that. I am not digging through your trash, D-dubs, but I appreciate the offer. We are extremely hard on ourselves. It's kind of annoying, isn't it? The way we are. I'll say the way I am. The way I am when it comes to that. You really like the portrait's nose? It looks super cool. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Oh my lord. Can I say I've been mentioning it almost in every live stream. I've been watching Portrait Artist of the Year on Amazon. You end up I've watched, I'm in the 8th season. I think there's 12 seasons altogether. I've been almost binging an episode or two a day. Every once in a while we'll take a break and just watch one. But that, and then we took a break in between and watched Landscape Artist. Anyway, I bring all of that up constantly because what happened to me as I watched it is, wow, these people are super talented. Wow, they're all self-deprecating. Hey, I do that. Oh, wow, I can't do that. I totally can do that. I don't know if I can do that. So all of the things that I've been watching them do, I've been using almost, I think, subconsciously. I think my mind is going, remember that thing you saw? Why don't you give it a shot? Embracing the grid method, embracing the freeform method, embracing it all, embracing starting with the eyes, with hyper detail, and then blending out. Everything that they've said isn't different from anything that we've read or learned ourselves as we try. But it's almost like a study process of, it's constantly in my face. It's constantly repeating itself. I'm learning through those shows via osmosis. D-Dub says, your painting does look really good. Was doing my own portrait painting earlier with digital watercolor. I went with purple, greens, and yellow. Ooh, purple, greens, and yellow. That's kind of cool. That's an interesting color scheme. That's really cool. One thing that I would love to do and learn to do is bypass the human skin tone color scheme. It's beautiful, I know. But I would love to try to look at someone's face and change the colors on the fly. You know what I'm saying? Like I can do gray tones. I can kind of do this just in a slower process. But like you said, if I was to do this with greens, purples, and yellows, it would be super freaking interesting. Someone says, absolutely. This is why we are called to surround ourselves with that which edifies, because it helps us to grow through the influence of others. It sure does. And steal. And steal their processes. Who wants it? Hey, if AI's doing it, we got to do it. And we got to do it better. We got to do it on the fly. His lip is disappearing, so let's do his lip. But yeah, but it's really interesting. Ooh, no, that's too much. But there's some artists, and that show is very frustrating sometimes to watch because uh, they keep changing the goalposts too. They keep changing their tone. Um, they do embrace creativity and how to build a portrait. They don't always honor likeness, but then I don't know what that means when they do that, right? It's a competition about likeness, and I've seen some people, some artists, and I hate doing this too because I love art of all types, that were not very good with likeness, that got moved into the short list over somebody that nailed the likeness of their sitter. And you go, where the heck was the thinking in that? That doesn't make sense. All right. Anyway, I won't rant on the show. I've been watching the heck out of it, so. After the third or fourth season, you will start to judge yourself their art. Which is why I liked the landscape artist. Because landscape artist artwork is so more, I think to me, is more difficult. Because when it comes to likenesses, people, I mean, from the beginning, will start saying, oh, that doesn't look like so-and-so. It doesn't feel right. I gotta turn on the light, guys. 1 second. Okay, let me start over. Thomas says, start adding in more and more bits of unexpected color. Yeah, that's the only way, right? DW says, I think as long as your values still work, you can do any color you want. I think that's true also. There's an artist, Black Bean CMS. His name, I think his name is Chris. He's amazing. He does oil pastels, and his values are bananas, and he uses a lot of greens and purples and oranges in places where you go, that doesn't make sense to me, but they end up near the end look so beautiful. And even he doesn't understand sometimes how or why that happens. Let's I'm gonna need more white, so let me grab some white. He's amazing. I've been watching for a long time too, and he's so good. He makes me not want to try oil pastels. I see his stuff and I go, Mel, stay in your lane, please. Stick to pencils and stick to gouache. I like how he even tried gouache and it came out amazing. And it came out amazing. He's great. I'm just going to work on this background a bit. Yeah, it makes it extremely appealing, and then it's like, Nah. Nah. I'll stay right where I am. Like, I just started here. I'm gonna stick around here for a bit. Ooh, I'm gonna have to. Does she do much in oil pastels? I know she does a lot of watercolor and gouache lately. A lot of the artists that I used to follow when I first started trying to figure out gouache, and like ham rib and there's so many, but ham rib, I had them in my head the other day. All their names. I like that they're branching out. Selfishly, I like that they're branching out to other mediums. There's an artist. Again, I can never remember names. I'm gonna have to start taking down people's names. She uses gouache, and she doesn't speak in her videos. It's basically ASMR. My house will never be quiet enough for me to do ASMR. I'm surprised my cat hasn't greeted us yet. But his gouache is beautiful, what she does. Ruth Wilshaw is another one that does gouache that I've been using her technique on how to blend. I just can't use it the way she does it. Soon, I hope, I'll crack it. My mind will be able to crack it and do it. I made the worst thing and turned on my fan. My room was really quiet. Warm. But now with this fan, I'm gonna have to work quicker. Her work is amazing. It's a ceiling fan, D-dubs. I'm glad you can't hear it, but back to time that she was talking about. Susan, she does do oil pastels with lots of crazy colors and stuff using the values. She loves him as well. Black Beans EMS. Hammer was one of my immediate loves in terms of her work. She's amazing. I feel terrible that I can't remember these artists' names. I gotta work on that. And then, it fills my heart, Tema says, feeling like it might pop with the idea of artists learning and growing from one another. It's so inspiring and brings me... It does, doesn't it? Move that there. Move that here. I'm trying to keep my new little thing clean. What I'm really digging about so far, my process, is the level of growth within the last couple of weeks. And I'm not trying to say that egotistically. I just want to share with people the idea of growth. When I get asked by a young artist, how long did it take? How long did it take you? And all this, and they don't always like to hear that it just takes time and practice. So I've been drawing for the majority of my life. I've only been painting seriously like this for the last 3 or 4. But just as an example, this was just months apart, or a month apart. You can see already there's some roughness here still. Even though it's sharp, that sword is dope. Compared to her brother, which I did maybe 3-4 weeks after. The blending, just the atmosphere of the painting. Like, it's not lost. It is practice, guys. It is just taking your time and having fun doing it. Failing. There's a lot of failure in between these two. And then even just this one in between, who has a bit more of what's the word? More expressive, less detailed and sharp, but still there's. I did this guy, the uncle, in between those two paintings. But I say that because I'm looking at this dude, their pops, and how much it blends the softness of this guy, the harshness of some of this in there. And it just takes time, you know. And it helps your pencils slowing down. I showed this earlier. I don't want to show too much, but my Indiana Jones, which I'm going to try to ink. I don't know if I'll be doing this on stream just because I was concentrating like nobody's business. I had such a terrible headache yesterday. And had a coffee, had some breakfast, took some headache pills, and then I put some headphones on. And just took my time, just forgot about it. Tema says, sorry, making a mess here. No, I've seen your recent growth explosion. I'm glad to see it is something that you're aware of. You've always been so skilled, but lately something more is. I think so. And it's consistency through something that I'm dealing with personally, right? Again, I'm not working. I've been out of work for a little over a year now, which is really troubling to me. And I've said this before, I'm just very blessed that my wife and my kids support me in this journey, and it would be terrible of me to take advantage of what they're doing for me and not get better, of not working on this that they're supporting. I would if I was somebody else, I would beat myself up if I wasn't working on this and trying to do it. You know, I try to tell them not to give up on what they feel and what they love. So I don't know, but yes, it's the consistency because of that, and the drive that I inadvertently, because of them. So I constantly thank them, and you know, I know that they're going to. My birthday's on Friday. Hit me up with a super chat. No, I'm kidding. And I know they're gonna try to spoil me and take care of me, and I get emotional thinking about it because they don't have to. They've already done enough by letting me do what I'm doing. It's really kind of nuts. I'm in a different place. God is good, and what can you do? What can you say? I digressed. It's a little dusty in here. Okay, so DW says, seems you dropped the idea of the almost comic book line art from the daughter painting. Sorry, I keep bumping my mic. Yes. Hold on, I'm saying yes to something I'm reading now. I'll get to Tama because I think that's cool. DW says, seems you dropped the idea of almost comic book line art from the daughter painting. When I painted her brother, right? Yes. So that's something that I've been working with. Do I paint with the line art, or do I color in the line art to look like the skin tone? Those are things that my process is still processing. And then you say, wait, never mind. Seems you brought it back with the father hair, an intentional connection between them, perhaps. Yeah, I can see that. Well, this is more. I can see what you're saying, because this one seems more portrait-like in terms of a painting. This one seems like I painted line art, where this one feels like a mixture of both, of loose, suggestive line painting, smooth like the sun, but that's definitely, I love that nose. I know that's a Jim Lee nose if I ever saw one. I gotta paint his eyes. You see the shiny part down here? There's no color. There's no gouache on that part of the artboard. And you can see here, I didn't paint her hand, her arm, or her hair, because I still wasn't unsure, and a little bit of her lip. I was a bit unsure. And then painted more of him, but I think I left a bit of his eyes and a bit of his neck. Anywho, put that here. I keep them in front of me so I can keep them. Tim says, your family loves you and sees the passion you feel, and they want you to realize your dreams. You deserve that. They know it. Yeah, I love them. They are so good to me. They really are. Let's see. Get the family portrait. I'm just glad they look related. Close. Okay. Yeah, and there's just something about what they do, and I try to do my best for them at all times. I want to paint his eyes. But I need to clean this stuff here. Sorry. Yeah, so you, fellow August, yes. I'm the day before the end of Leo's. Are you Scorpio? Virgo? I can't remember what comes after Leo. I used to be all about the horoscope stuff. I really don't care less about horoscopes now, but yes, Leo baby in his house. Little burnt sienna. You're up early today? Hey Susan, your ears must have been ringing. We was talking about you. Sometimes you guys can't see what I'm doing here. I'll leave it there. I'll leave it there as a tease for now. And I paint eyes very similar to how I would do them in pencil. Put in the dark and then erase, but with painting. I'm gonna drop some of this yellow ochre, which I'm gonna have to wait for it to dry. Tim, I've never tried. Yeah, I don't consider it either. That's funny. I never tried the gouache with watercolor. And you said did you only use black and white as a supplement for that? That's my nerd alert. That's fascinating. Yeah, only good things in the appointment. So hopefully it's a hair appointment. We'll get you. Oh no, you do your own nails, so. I really didn't want to go too dark like I just did right now, but it should dry. Added white to lighten, add opacity, and black to darken and add opacity. And that was it, huh? That's cool, man. So you wouldn't consider mixing the, let's say if you're using reds, to using a reddish gouache to add opacity? I kind of went in a little late, so I don't know if you mentioned that, or like would it? You think it'll? Because I don't know. I would have thought that the white, because white gouache is so sometimes so overpowering and not muddying, but it kind of like dulls the pigment. But man, if it worked the way it did, that thing looked amazing. I think what you can do, when you was trying to figure out the glow, to have it really, really glow, is going with gouache in that pure color over your watercolor, if that makes sense. Maybe it don't make sense. Don't listen to me. I don't know what I'm talking about. I did then incorporate other colors as I would with watercolor, but only the two of the initial base. Ah, that's cool. But only added in other colors of watercolor and not gouache. Gotcha. Yeah. One thing I know about gouache for sure is that it's selfish. So if you introduce it, it's cool, but then it wants to be the life of the party. And if it takes over, it's really hard to keep that beautiful watercolor appearance. Oh, that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, because at first when you asked, when you was like any suggestions, I was like, I have no idea. I think like that's really cool. All right, let's mess with his hair. When it comes to glow effects, uh, with gouache, is either a lot of layers at first, or you have to separate the colors immediately. Um, they make sure they uh, they stay in their own lane, so to speak. Because they'll blend in with each other quick, gouache does. Creative said, awesome, all my floor paintings were toned with watercolor and then painted over with gouache. Yeah, watercolor makes a fantastic underpainting because they don't come back up. Once it dries, it's your friend. And I don't want to, which is why I've been using acrylic for my underpaintings. I mean, I could use watercolor, but acrylic dries really, really fast. I might be on 2 hours. I'll probably stick around for another half, maybe. I will be back tomorrow. I won't be streaming on Friday. And I probably won't be back today, so I'm trying to do as much today with you guys as I can. Right? Don't leave for tomorrow what you can do today. And I want to hang with y'all today. He got kind of like a Don Johnson look, don't he? Oh no. Huh. Susan says, I almost never mix gouache in the palette anymore. I'm so inspired. Oh, what do you mean you don't mix on the palette? Explain yourself. No, now I'm interested. What that mean? And Timmy says, I'm so inspired. Because it mixes on the page regardless, the layers stay cleaner that way. I can dig it. I see what you're saying. Like for this side of the face, very similar. Even though I had my tones on my palette, I blended them all, but that's not really the same, is it? I think all I need to do with him is keep working on the hair so it won't get mixed in with his face, so it'll stand out. That's awesome, though. That's awesome, Tama. Gouache is your new sudden passion. You're painting right now. You've been painting for like an hour, but you have to go to do your day job. No, I have to go to my day, but I had to because I can't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. I was up late playing with the gouache too. See, that's cool. Cool. I like that. That feeling is really great too, though. That oh, I wonder what this would look like feeling. Now is the perfect time to of the aha moments. Let's go with a bigger brush. I think that's cool though. I love that. I knew you'd. Says, knew you'd love it, girl. It's so frustrating at first, and you think you're gonna hate it, and then boom, suddenly you see the light. Yes, yeah. Even though you're talking to her, I know what you're talking about. There was times that even during uh, failures, I kind of knew why I failed in those. Oh, I added too much, or I didn't have enough. I didn't let it dry. And again, I think you learn more from those type of trials, those type of experiences, than when everything works out. I think when everything works out, you're kind of like what you was talking about yesterday of being in a like in that flow state. But it's also because your mind, we've already gone through so many of the errors. I say I do. It says, well, Susan, if you and Mello, who are my inspiration for gouache, you kept encouraging me with your work and your words, and he, through his work, and fantastic. Well, then welcome to the club. That's right. Fees will be collected at the end of the month. Once I started using it like watercolor, it allowed me to dip my toes. And then I understood it better. DW says sometimes everything goes well, and I think I finally understand what I'm doing. Nope. We never know what we're doing. You know how many times I've seen something that I like that I've done and go, how the hell did I do that? And I really look at it going, how did I do that? What the hell? I'm not like being a goober or facetious or anything like that. You go, where? But it's because mine was in the right place at the right time. But you're absolutely right. It's never going to be perfect, which is great. All right, I need some of this, some of that, this. Nope. Some of that instead. I'm gonna have to mix in some of this blue here. Just trying to make a dark. Just mixing up some colors here. I wanted to be a bit more different, bit more different than his face. So I'm trying to mix some greens and some khaki color. What it says, emotions influence us all so much. It's really hard to replicate stuff sometimes in art. Yes, even your own. Even my own. I don't mean your own. Even my own. And Map says, the savior on creatine. No, that's pure protein. What's up, Map? Map? Dude, you gotta send me an email, bro, at Design Mad Good, so I can scan that He-Man and She-Ra for you. Always regret not putting notes or anything. Me too. What I use on the back of my art sketchbook drawings, yeah. It's getting lost here. something darker than that. Let me keep reading here. Thomas says, yeah, using it like watercolor, and what I ultimately just broke down and did, and then started varying it as the opacity needed to be built. You're 100% on that. Putting notes is a great idea. I always think I remember, and then I don't remember. I never remember. That's awesome, Tim. I wanted you to experience the joy. Oh, see this? A gouache. I think that's hilarious that your reader fixed it. Thanks so much, Susan. I hope you. I know you mind gouache. Susan, thanks for jumping on. I appreciate you. And I'll catch you when you jump on. And Map, the kiddo started school. I hear you, bro. We're experiencing the joys of school starting over here in Florida. Come on, buddy. Turn on. But Map, don't sweat it, brother. I'm just there's no deadline, man, and I haven't done anything on it. So whenever you want, whenever you can. Life, man. Puh. Kids. Puh, double puh. All right, so here we go. Gonna use the dark. Yeah, the notes. Oh man, isn't that a smart idea? It's a super smart idea, and I should do it. I don't take notes of colors or anything that I've done, or none of it. All right, I can't remember which one was my medium. Was it what the hell was it? Was it this one? Something like that. Now I'm gonna see. I could have used it right now. It's supposed to be feathers anyway, so. Or fur. I'm not trying to show off in front of a TV girl, I promise. If you know, you know. Thank you, Tim. I appreciate you. Always. I will catch you on yours soon. And we absolutely, I know we've mentioned it a couple of times, and I know life gets in the way. We all gotta jump on a stream one day. Maybe we can convince Ike to jump on the phone. D-Dubs, you're invited there too, brother. But it'd be kind of cool for us to jump on. But anyway, have fun. Have a great rest of your day. God bless you. Love you, mean it. And I'll see you in the next one. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, it'd be cool, man. Uh, yes. And you don't have to show your stuff. If you're feeling some type of way, like, no, I don't want to, you could join by phone and it'll just be the voice. And then you could get the courage to jump on. I say do it anyway. I think, as you can see, this group is super encouraging, super welcoming. That's what the round table is for. The round table is for everyone. We gotta pick a day where everybody's available. I mean, I stream during the day just because it's more convenient. But we could figure something out for show that makes sense for everyone. I'm close to being done here. You would too, you would, as long as you figure out how, buddy, all you need is your phone. And if you have a computer, even better. But all you need is your phone. The software that I would use is called Restream. And I'll just send you a link. Give me a second, I'm trying to do this thing here. Send you a link, and whatever device you open it on, that's where it'll ask you, hey, do you want to use your camera? No camera? Do you want to use your voice? Use the voice. So if you're using your phone, turn the camera off and turn your microphone on and you talk to us. And if you have a computer, you can watch the stream. See what I'm saying? What's up, JOM? How you doing, bro? Welcome. Just kind of doing some of the finishing the stuff here. I'm not going to go too detailed. I might go in and put in some darker colors, line art. See how that works. I need to lighten that face a bit, but I think this color, it's too light. Yeah, if you guys were here when I was painting the lady's face, or that study on Monday, yeah, my colors were muddy on my palette. So I will clean that up. Gnarly, yeah. You know what messed me up, JOM, when I started painting this earlier and I started putting the hair in, and I gave him like a gray beard underpainting for the hair, for the beard. I'm like, oh no, and the scar is Geralt. I'm like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to paint Geralt. Any Witcher fans out there? Never read any of the books. I played a bit of the game. And I watched the first season with Cavill, who did amazing. So amazing that I guess they canceled the Liam Hemsworth. Actually, I did that wrong. The light's hitting it from the right. It should be here. He was awesome, and he was a fan. And I don't know why they took him out. Netflix is freaking weird, man. They like the properties. They like the traffic. They don't like the commitment. Because honestly, they don't want you to get stuck on the show, one show. They want you to get stuck on all the shows. But bruh, not every one of your shows is good. Bruh. Right? Like, let me enjoy. Anyway, I'm not gonna rant about Netflix. No, though a friend did a portrait of one of those characters yesterday, some bald guy with an eyeglass. I got nothing, brother. DW, I got nothing. I don't even know what that means. But I hear you. Like the characters, I don't know. But I guess they're really old books. MEP, fantastic. Oh, I don't know what happened here. Just sent the email. Thank you. Yeah, we don't New Jersey Housewives reunion. I don't. Oh, you don't want? You sure though? That's funny. I'm kind of doing the ear opposite. I'm gonna do the dark, the shadow of the ear now. Hold on one second. Is that a second cup brewing? Yeah. Ooh, girl. Would you mind? I don't know if Mom would. I'll take it. I shouldn't. But my Dubby energy drink has not come in yet. Oh yeah, something that I shared earlier. I'll share with you guys now while we're hanging and banging. I am now a partner with Dubby Energy Drink. I'll be trying out their partnership program and sponsored by them. If you are into energy drinks, want an energy drink without the jitters, go to w.gg, order something you like, and put in promo code MELLOW AOTRT. That's MELLOW AOTRT, one word. You get a discount for whatever you like, whenever you like. But I'm waiting for their stuff to arrive, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to get. I'm trying to reduce my coffee intake as I'm over here telling my daughter to make me another cup. But if it's good, if it works, then heck yeah, I'll be reducing my coffee intake to 1 in the morning. I'm going to add some dark for that. This piece is pretty small, JOM. This is an 8x10. That's what I've been doing lately. For all my hero pieces, 8x10. Wait. Give or take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I'm gonna lose them. I'm gonna have to change my coffee and lead to Dubby and lead. No, I really do need to cut back on my coffee intake and my caffeine intake as much as I enjoy it. MEP says those colors especially with the blues put into the flesh tones, reminds me of the self-portrait that Frazetta did, color palette-wise. Thanks, man. I think a lot of that stuff, I look at a lot of Frazetta, and I think all of it just kind of like through osmosis. It starts bleeding out, man. But hey, I'll take that as a compliment and a half. Appreciate that. So 8x10 JOM, and this is the father? Yeah, man. Oh, you should have said that like Maury Povich. This dude said, I found that sitting on a tray of ice cubes first thing in the morning works just as well as caffeine. Nah, yo, I don't believe you. What do you guys do to wake up besides Joe? What do you guys do? And I'm not sponsoring this next piece, but I do it all the time. And what I actually use to wake up, 12:30. I play Sudoku in the morning. I play the Duke. My music ended. Give me 1 second. Okay, so that's a pretty good. I've been on from 2:30. Yeah, I'll probably be done in about 20 minutes. I gotta go get a haircut. Gotta go get my ears lengthened. I'm just adding some black, some dry black. Feather it out the same way I did the hair, but I'm gonna be a bit more rough. I just really want texture and movement. I'm adding some blues. Cold water, and the adrenaline rush of getting my kids to school. Oh yeah, getting your kids in, that'll do it anytime. Walking, constitutional, like Adam West. Yeah. Yeah, I drive my son to work, and driving on I-295 here in Florida at dawn. Oof, these people. I love Florida. They suck at driving. And I'm from Massachusetts, so ugh. We're not called Massos because we're nice. Massachusetts. All right. I'm going to leave the bottom part kind of loose just because I want your focus to be on the face here. These are just hero portraits anyway. This is just to get a get the likenesses in there and get a living, breathing appearance here. Little pecho, little chest right there. So drink water, engage with the things that motivate, inspire me. That wakes me up. That's awesome. And DW also says, posted what I painted today on your community page. I don't understand much about values as the and painting, though I tried, and I'm happy with the results. Dude, honestly, that's all that matters, man. Honestly. That's always all that matters. All right. It's hard to see because of the glare, but I'm just adding some black. Mass. A pit stop at the Dunkies. You gotta say Dunkies before some groceries at the Stab Market. Stab Market. Dude, I didn't know that Stop and Shop. There's no Stop and Shops down here in the down south, bro. Publix got this place on lock. And the less I say about the amusement park that is Buc-ee's, the better. I know people swear by it, but I don't know how I feel about being able to buy a toilet and a barbecue brisket sandwich at the same place. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I live in the north part of Florida, near Orange Park, near Jacksonville. It's just people going to work. But good Lord, man. They all tailgate. There's an accident every day. Every day. There's probably an accident right now. There'll be accidents in traffic. Like I've seen accidents in bumper to bumper traffic. And I'm like, how the hell did you get enough speed in the first place to hit them? And they weren't the cause of the traffic. Feel me? And because so many drivers don't stick around, they'll stay in the middle of the road. I seen an accident where a company truck just not paying attention at a red light bump into the car in front of him. The car in front of him took a turn into like a store parking lot so that it can exchange info. That was mistake number one. As soon as that light turned green, homeboy in the truck dipped. It's messed up, but I laughed. Well, you know, going in with the brisket, you're going to, no, you're not. You might. You're going to. You're not going to make it out the store. When we drove down from Massachusetts, from Boston to here, that was one of our final stops. We couldn't get out of there fast enough. And it was hot that day, but we needed to get out because we drove with our dog in the car. And I'm like, you got to go to the bathroom, buddy. Jim Wilson, that's a little too on the nose. They want to be part of all your daily process. They might even install it for you. Ah, you mean the toilet? At Bucky's? Yeah. They got some bomb ass grills. There's some places, right, that are just a little too overwhelming. Bucky's is one of them. Bucky's in when IKEA when it was first introduced down here. That maze of IKEA was like, what the hell? I just want to leave. Can we leave now? How the hell did we end up in this conversation? Yeah, the same the same cook. Yeah, man. The cook and the plumber. That's how he gets his recipe right. It's so nasty, bro. Everybody mispronounces IKEA. How do you say it? Did I say it wrong? Is it pineapple? Commissions on the brisket, more butter for the biscuits. Yeah. Oh my lord. Oh man. That's the questionnaire. That's the questionnaire when you go into the bathroom. Did you enjoy our brisket? Are you enjoying our brisket? You nasty. Alright, I think I'm noodling too much. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. Close this, clean this. Baking a cake. Keys. All right. Bunch of meanies, man. But you're not lying. Got my eyes twitching. There you go. It's Pop Dukes. Mjorn, MLORN. Guys, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I really do. This is the first painting using Castle Arts gouache paints. It did awesome. Out of the 24, I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. Black, white, yellow ochre, vermilion, burnt sienna, and ultramarine blue. I think this came out pretty good. I wanted it to look kind of romanticized. He does get freaking porked in the beginning of my story, so that's his son. And that is the daughter. DW says, where was the blue? mainly on his on the fur and a little bit on the bottom beard, but not very much else. And JOM says, "What is that wet case?" Still talking about pork. This thing, the wet palette. Yeah, couple of shekels up in Amazon. It has a sponge underneath. It uses these hydro paper. It's just like really thin parchment paper. I'm sure you could probably use parchment paper. Goes my sponge. This is the first one I used. I let it dry out. But not too bad. Works pretty good. This will be and this was actually pretty clean. I can use this for my next painting, which will probably be this guy right here. Which was nobody. I wasn't thinking of anything, but it kind of has a Conan-esque to it. You got a broad nose there, the bowl cut. So I might do that. I don't know if I'm going to complete this. I want to and I don't want to at the same time. What else we got going on here? I'm finally, tomorrow, I'm going to be painting this study of David so that I can go ahead and prep it for a bigger piece. JOM says, do you have to do that with that particular paint? No, you don't, but it helps. It helps me because, again, my room is warm and it's humid and it absorbs all the moisture. And this is very much like, it's an opaque. It's an opaque. Oh my eyes are twitching. It's an opaque watercolor. So you obviously need to use water to activate it and get it to move and smoothly. Right? So what happens is that it dries very quickly. If I was to leave this case open, these things will be dry by within the couple of hours or so. You can still add water and it'll reactivate. But I feel that the more water you add, the less pigmented the colors become. I felt that in my experience. So this allows the casing and the paints to stay wet, to stay moist, reducing the need to use so much water. I could just grab the paint I need. See how all the painting I did today, you know, and I squoze out more than I needed. Distilled water, you could. I'm not that frou-frou. I use tap for your boy. Dirty tap water. I do have distilled water here. I was using it for my Hemi, my jelly washes that were already in the container, and they still went moldy. And I'm like, then what's the point? My paints aren't going to drink better than me and still turn to green hairy. Just get moldy. I leave it at that. I'm too tired, too hungry to come up with any good metaphors or insults for that. But yeah, he got a very like a Don Johnson look, very 3D. I'm digging it. But I didn't paint everything. You could probably still see some of the spots where I left the canvas kind of blank, which I'm really digging that style. You thinking he looks like Tom Holland? Maybe. I don't know. I don't see that. All right, you guys want to do? We'll do something before I leave. I'm gonna let the music play me out, guys. I really appreciate you. I'll be here tomorrow. That's right. He only likes mead. I'll be here tomorrow, maybe twice. But JOM, and MEP. I'm going to respond to your email. I gotta scan those images. I'll put it like this so you can't see it. This is the last piece. I'm gonna finish drawing this. I'm gonna ink it myself, and this is for a project that I'm working on for somebody. It's a secret. Don't tell them. All right. So, yeah, drinks distilled spirits from the inside. You gotta forgive me because I think I'm gonna say your name wrong here, but I wanted to say hello. Swarna Lib 5260 says hello. Hello back. So what I'm gonna do here is I want to pinch this here. I'm gonna pinch it right on the edge. Pinch it on the edge. I know that's not it. I never have enough space. No matter how often I try to clear stuff up. All the cool kids are coming in and I'm about to dip in 2 minutes. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to let the music play me out. I appreciate you guys for hanging out. While the music plays me out, I'm going to use my... Oh, fantastic. Swarna Lib. Swarna Lib. I'm going to put some... burnt sienna and put a wash on this, and that's gonna be it, y'all. But thank you guys for hanging out with me. I do appreciate it. You guys that came in a few minutes ago, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for hanging out on just coming through and saying what's up. Ooh, I think my package is here. So, now don't worry about it, Monty. I'm going to do my wash on this so that we won't back down. As you guys know, when I do my wash, it's always one step to paint it and getting it done. So, this is Arts of the Round Table. My name is Mello. God bless you. I love you, mean it. And until next time, y'all, tomorrow, I'll draw you later. Bye.